Hello, everybody. So, a few weeks ago, I posted a video about how the content that I'm making is taking a new direction, and that I kind of wanted to sort of step away from the fortune cookie motivational quotey kind of stuff and move more into like music and entrepreneurship and all of that sort of stuff. But I kind of fell back into the same content pattern that I was making. I changed the content in the sense that I wasn't scripting everything word for word and I was trying to go off the top of my head. But then I sort of realized that I was just losing track of what I was saying. I was saying the same thing over and over again. And ultimately, a lot of the time, I was just saying a whole lot of nothing, honestly. That's just not the content that I wanted to make. Like, all of the motivational sort of like mindset things that I was saying, I do still want to incorporate the lessons from that into my school, into my videos, into my content, and into, the message that I'm pushing in general. But I don't want that to be the focus of the content that I make, because ultimately I'm a musician at heart, and I really feel that the content I should be making should be about my musical journey. I wanted to be a music content creator at first, but I kind of had all of these doubts and self-limiting beliefs that because I'm not a great musician, I'm sort of at the bottom of a very big mountain, that I sort of wasn't good enough to be making videos about like my music journey and stuff like that. But then I sort of realized like, fuck it, like I don't care. I don't care if I'm not good enough to be posting like videos or whatever of music, because at the end of the day, barely anybody on the internet posts their failures as well, right? So I still wanted to maintain like this level of authenticity that I've had throughout my content. So I just thought, fuck it, why don't I just actually do what is in my heart, what I actually want to do, and just document the entire journey of building this business and developing through music. If you don't know what my business is, essentially it's Hendrik. It's a brand comprised of two main components. Hendrik Productions is like the production powerhouse, which eventually I want to be a record label. And at the minute, I'm focusing on making podcasts, YouTube videos, and then eventually music and just all sorts of production media stuff. And Hendrik Academy is my online business school for people in the music industry, and that's my current focus. That's what I'm working on now. I'm currently doing a lot of market research and trying to figure out who my customers are and what they really want and how I can provide as much value as possible to the customers. If you look at my previous videos, I mentioned that it was free access for the minute and that people could join, but I had a massive realization, if you will. So I'm completely just scrapping everything, taking it back to the drawing board and spending the next few months just building it to make it really, really valuable, because it's okay now, but honestly, I think I may as well just prolong the public release and just make it as good as I can to really help people. So if there's anything that, say you're trying to have a career in music and you just don't know where to start, if there's anything that you don't understand that you think would really help you, let me know. And also, if you're further along in your journey within the music industry, if there's anything that could have really helped you when you were, say, 18, 19, 20, or just when you were younger, when you were at the bottom of the mountain at the beginning of your journey, if there's anything that could have helped you, please let me know, because I'm really trying to pack as much value as I can into this school, because ultimately that's what school is for. It's for education. It's for improving and bettering people. And honestly, I don't want to build a product that's mediocre. I want to build a product that's actually going to get people results, that's going to give people value, and it's really going to change their lives, because that's what I was so desperate for at a young age. I was very directionless when I went to university. All I knew was that I wanted to study in Amsterdam. I've never even been to Amsterdam. I just loved the look of the city. I loved the canal houses and the music scene over there. So that was kind of my only direction when I went into uni. And I just feel that so many people that were my age, say 18, 19 at the time, they just don't really have direction in their lives, and they don't believe that a career in their industry that they're passionate about is possible. Because I've always been a musician, I've always been into music, but when I was sort of looking into university and sort of thinking what my next steps were when I was 17, 18, 19, it didn't even occur to me that I could have a career in the music world. I just sort of by default thought that I have to go into corporate, I have to do business, I have to do this, that, and the other. But what I'm aiming with Hendrick Academy is that I want to be an alternative to university. You know, I want to be able to give people who are in the music industry a chance at actually having a fulfilled career, doing something that they love. Not necessarily like making it as a musician, but like everything that comes with that, like say sound engineering, stage managing, all of that stuff, all of the jobs in the industry, not necessarily the actual creation of music itself, which we will also focus on, but that's not necessarily like our main objective, if that makes sense. So at the minute, my content has been very inconsistent, if you will. I've sort of been fighting like 1,000 different battles on 1,000 different fronts. And the thing is, I'm not complaining because this work isn't hard. Like my mum's a nurse in a hospice and care homes and stuff, and my dad works in a factory. So the work that I do, I don't consider hard. So I'm not here complaining really, but everything I do on a day-to-day basis, 7 days a week, all hours of the day, all of my activities are essentially revolving around moving towards this goal that I have with the business and with my music journey and all of that sort of stuff. So everything I live and breathe is my work, essentially. So I don't really have a work-life balance. Like my work is my life, and I'm trying to just build a process and a system that means I can just keep working on all of this and do it efficiently, but also well, if you know what I mean, effectively also. Because ultimately I keep just pushing myself way too hard and then burning out and just hating what I do, just doubting myself, not making any content. So I go really hard for like 2 weeks and then I just feel fucked for another 2 weeks, and it's just not sustainable ultimately. I'm trying to build, like I said, a system, a process, and for me ultimately it's all just trial and error. And I know for a fact that maybe you watching this or anyone that's in the music industry probably has had similar struggles, or they're currently facing these similar struggles. So I just thought, fuck it, why don't I actually just document my life? Why don't I have a real connection with the people that are watching, instead of just having this smokescreen of me just talking about motivational fucking quotes that I've seen on the internet, you know? Like, and my life experience. I want to actually just share my life with my audience instead of just presenting thoughts and stuff, if that makes sense. If you think about the story of the tortoise and the hare, I can't exactly remember it word for word, but from what I remember, the hare sprints on ahead while the tortoise just goes at a gradual, sustainable pace. And the hare just tires himself out and is just done out. He's out of the race. And eventually the tortoise that keeps going at this gradual, steady pace overtakes him and wins the race. So for me, I keep having this just pressure that I put on myself, sort of a fear of failure and just all sorts of, I don't know, just pressure, I guess. Like I can't really think of any other word that I just put onto myself, which is completely unnecessary. So I just push as hard as I can, and I just keep going way over my capacity and end up like the hare in that story. Whereas I feel like if I just slow down a bit, even with talking, to be honest, like I've probably spoken at like 1,000 miles an hour in this video, even if I just slow down and talk like this, my thoughts are a lot clearer, it's a lot more sustainable. So that's kind of what I'm figuring out right now. I'm sort of figuring out the workload that I can actually handle, because honestly, I don't mind not having a work-life balance. I don't mind this work being my life, but I feel like I need to stop pushing myself so hard, because I'm almost like running away from a fear that's chasing me. But the thing is, the fear of failing, the fear of not achieving what I want to achieve is just made up in my head, you know what I mean? It's completely fabricated by myself, because I know that if I stay at a steady and consistent pace, I'm going to achieve far more than I will if I just keep rushing and pushing too hard. Essentially, the videos I was making before, they were all from my brain, you know, like the life advice that I was giving was all genuinely authentic to me and what I feel and what I've experienced and everything. But I just figured that I may as well just share my life. Like, I'm not saying I have like a really crazy cool life, you know, but I'm sort of on a path. I'm on a journey that I'm working towards every day. And that is heavily centered around music. So I thought, why not just actually make this content more of like an engaging story, you know? There's no point in just having these pointless videos of me just saying a whole lot of nothing. I actually want to build a connection with the audience and with the viewers, and yeah, that's what I'm aiming to do with YouTube. That's the whole point of this sort of YouTube content, you know? So that's what I'm doing moving forward. So I think I'm going to wrap up the video here because I could just keep waffling for hours at this point, which I love doing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm currently house sitting for my gran. So as you can see, I've occupied her living room. Sorry about that in advance. And that's why the lighting's a bit, it looks orange as fuck in the video, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll leave my Instagram in the description of this video. So if you feel that there's anything that I can help you with regarding building the school, or there's anything that you would have found valuable at the beginning of your journey, just shoot me a message. Feel free to connect. I'm always happy to talk, or just leave a comment or anything like that. So my name's Gwethan. I'm the founder of Hendrik. And yeah, I mean, I hope this is a significant turning point in not only the content journey, but just my future. You know, I've really had a awakening moment and sort of really discovered myself, essentially. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.